are changing. No one thought that the war between Russia and Ukraine would last as long as it did. I kept saying, yeah, it's going to. Folks, they didn't pay attention to particular realities. And so parties were giving those in Kiev very little equipment, defensive stuff, yeah, some javelins and stuff like that for anti-tank stuff, yeah. But they really needed, they weren't really getting, so they were just fending off not being able to go on the offensive, but so far. In warfare, as folks know, it has changed. However, what was exposed was the arms dealers from Moscow. They basically are so corrupt that a lot of what was supposed to be spent for their defense got siphoned off. They don't have tight controls over how things move there. And now they're paying for it. Over 300,000 of their folks in uniform working on 400,000 now are not here anymore. They're plumbers and electricians and regular folks that do coding and stuff like this for their infrastructure are not there. They're on the front lines, or they've already been maimed, or no longer on this planet, walking on this plane of existence. Well, these things have impacted oil price across the planet, natural gas price across the planet. It impacted those who rely on their grains and things of this nature for survival. So agriculture scenarios have been impacted because of the lack of quote unquote fertilizer for those that insist on using it. We discuss this stuff on a consistent basis as of late. So it's not a new discussion or a new phenomenon. All these things are external unto the Amexem-Moor-Empire. However, all these things in combination will have an impact on psychologies across the planet, which impacts the value of silver across the planet for trade purposes. And that makes it our business, since we trade across the planet in platinum, gold, and silver, primarily in silver at the moment. Consequently, we must pay attention to what's happening with the buying power of our silver. It really is that simple. Now, because of supply chain disruptions and supply route disruptions, now that ships are having a hard time sailing through the Cush Sea to go through the Kemetic Canal to get into the Great Sea, now ships have to travel all the way around South Amexem in both directions, which is impacting the availability of ships, which means it takes longer for things to get where they're going by way of ships. On top of the fact that the Central Amexem Canal is also in distress because of lack of water to float the vessels through the Central Amexem Canal, which is also impacting supply routes, which is impacting supplies on the shelves in stores where folks go to get their goods and products across the planet. It's cause and effect. And those that fail to plan for it are paying for it. Within the Amexem-Empire, on my watch, we've been preparing for things like this. The fiscal budget proposal for the Imperial Council helps us to maintain our preparations into the next Earth year, depending on whatever is made into fiscal budget law by the Imperial Council. It's really that simple. So we have to be cautious because our fiscal responsibility in service of the nationals requires that we be cautious. And as a second generation of Amexem-Empire National, again, as I keep saying, you're learning how the vegan sausage is made. You now are learning the how-tos and what fors with the Imperial Council and I do in your service. The work that we do is ongoing and escalating because we're growing in particular things. And as we expand our abilities to do things because we have more business taxes and monthly contributions to fund our work with, that just makes things all the better for us because now we can do things more effectively. We can get things done more appropriately. And it also allows us to be able to expand and improve our infrastructure so that when we sit down and retire, the rest of y'all can take it and build even more, whether it be in orbit or on terra firma, on solid ground. Either way, the work comes down to operations planning. Either way, the work comes down to being smart in the operations planning. Either way, it comes down to smart choices. But why we are making those choices matters. Access to resources and markets for us to bring our goods and products to those markets and acquire and gain market share. That's what this comes down to, because as I keep telling folks, it's not merely nationality is the order of the day. It is way beyond that. Nationality in combination with independent industries, commerce, and trade on our own terms. That is the order of the day.